Hey everyone, I'm your host Neera for this video event entitled Discover the Secrets to Happiness, where I have 21 amazing experts share simple ways of how to be happy now. This next amazing interview is with the very unique Tania A Prince. And I have to say, when I got off this video call with Tania, I could not stop chuckling to myself. Tania will show us some great EFT techniques that can help us change our state to one of happiness. But before I go into all of that, I'm going to share with you what this interview series is all about. You may be wondering, why am I doing this summit? Well, I used to feel constantly anxious, worried, and I can't say I ever felt heartfelt happiness. So, in pursuit of that happiness, I've pretty much read every self-help book going, attended hundreds of seminars, even bought the t-shirt with the inspirational quote on it. And guess what? I'm still wearing it. And quite frankly, having spent all of that time and money, I still couldn't find that heartfelt happiness I've been looking for. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going down this road. Well, exhausted from all of this endeavor, I began to focus on the idea that there must be a simple way to just get happy now. Ironically, I was inspired to just dance to a few songs every day. That's dance to a few happy songs. Instantly, I got happy. And guess what? The happier I've got, the more magic seems to be happening in my life. More opportunities seem to be turning up. People are asking me, wow, Neera, what is it that you're doing? You look just absolutely amazing. So I got to thinking, there must be a whole host of simple to understand and easy to follow steps to happiness out there for everyone. So part of this summit is about me learning and studying with some of the best experts on the planet right now on the subject of happiness. The other reason for this summit is that if you believe that we have only one life, then surely we owe it to ourselves to live in a state of happiness, which, according to some, is our natural state anyway. In other words, we were already born happy. We just forgot how to be. This is what the seminar is all about, that there are easy ways that we can learn to be happy now. It's a personal journey, and I hope that it will inspire you to get happy and, more importantly, stay happy. I highly suggest you listen to the interview of the day that we send out on email. So make sure you make listening to these interviews the top priority in your life. As you know, I have hand-selected 21 of the best experts on the planet and put them under the spotlight to answer this one question, especially for you. What is your one simple to understand and easy to do, guaranteed to get results, favorite way to get happy now? Well, I could not be more thrilled at the people who have graciously consented to spend their valuable time with us. And also, they've been very, very generous with contributing some absolutely fabulous bonuses that each one of them is going to tell you about personally. I am very honored by their presence, and you should be too. As I alluded earlier, the interview of the day is with Tania A Prince. Now, let's join Tania to find out how we can become happier. Tania has worked extensively with people for over 20 years, helping them to create greater happiness in their lives. She is an EFT founding master who is acknowledged as a world expert in the field of personal change. She is the developer of Inner RePatterning, an innovative mindfulness approach developed from EFT, and what you're going to love about Tania is that she's going to show you how effective her inner repatterning process really is at getting results. So welcome, Tania.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, Neera.
Pleasure. So let's start probably with one of the very first obvious questions I'm going to ask you. So I know you you work a lot with people to help them achieve greater happiness. However, what do you define as happiness?
I think, I define as happiness when we become very present in the moment, when we're able to just be in a very appreciative place. And it's almost like our body begins to release endorphins, and yet we don't have to be doing anything special to feel really good. I would say when we're just present in that moment with our experience and we feel fabulous, to me that's real happiness, because it's not so dependent upon what is happening externally to you.
Sure, not on your
Mm-hmm.
circumstances. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what do you think actually stops people feeling happy?
I think what stops people is that they're not present. They're locked in their thoughts. They're thinking inside of their mind, so they're not really in their experience. So when they're looking out at things, their mind's not there with that experience. They're elsewhere. So they're thinking maybe about their problems or things that have bothered them. They're thinking about what they're going to say, and it really type of pulls back from happiness. But when you begin to do that, you don't really appreciate the moment and have the joy that can go with just being there without that going on.
Sure. Okay, so you could be on the most beautiful beach in the world.
Oh yeah.
You're thinking...
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that personally.
Oh, okay.
That's why I could say that. I've been to some very beautiful places, and you take yourself with you, don't you? Really, and.
Yeah.
And you can be on that beach, and the waves can be lapping up the beach, and yet you're thinking, yeah, remember when that person said that to me last week, and yeah, I should have said that, and that's what you're doing, and you're not on the beach really, you're elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very true, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know that you are the developer of the Inner RePatterning approach,
mm-hmm.
but what exactly is Inner RePatterning, and how can it help when it comes to actually creating a state of happiness?
Well, Inner RePatterning, I'm an EFT master, so I work with a technique called emotional freedom technique quite often, and that's a psychological form of acupressure that's a very powerful approach. Inner RePatterning was developed from EFT, however, it's a very mindfulness technique. When I had the idea to develop this technique, I was reading some of the works of Eckhart Tolle, and that really connected with me, because I think deep down that kind of things, I've really known it's a very powerful way of being very present. So Inner RePatterning was developed from that idea, but I actually phoned a colleague and brought her on board with me, a lady called June K. Spencer, and we developed the approach together, and we took it out there with people who've got some very big issues and help them to become more mindful and to begin to release the baggage, the emotional baggage that people were carrying. So Inner RePatterning could be described as a kind of energetic technique, an energy therapy that's very mindful, that puts us more in the present moment and stops us being in our head, in our thoughts.
Okay, so pulls you more into the now, as it were.
Yeah. The other thing about it is it can also release the traumas we've experienced, because what causes us to begin to live in our heads is that we have maybe emotional experiences in our life. Say we get criticized repeatedly, and that creates an emotion for us. That can lead to us becoming more in our minds and not being present in the moment. Well, Inner RePatterning can help release those traumas that we've experienced, those maybe mini traumas that we've experienced or major traumas that we've experienced. And by releasing them, it just puts us more into now, in the present moment.
Okay, so it's not what you're saying here, if I understand you correctly, it's not so much that you're getting away from thinking about, I don't know, stuff in the past or what he said or she said, but it's more that it's almost like it's in your body, and what the Inner RePatterning does is get it out of your body. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, say you have an event that happens in your life. For example, you have a humiliating experience.
Right.
And you have a big emotion around that event. And even though time moves on, because the mind and the body is set up for you to survive, because you had that big emotion in that event, it perceives you as having been in a place of threat. Right. So what it does is it keeps that event running inside of you as if it's still happening. And that's why when you go forward in life and maybe you come across a similar situation, maybe people are looking at you, you can get triggered back to the emotions you had in that moment when you were humiliated. So it doesn't really turn off. So it keeps running because there's still emotion and energy connected to the original event. What Inner RePatterning does is it turns that off, it releases that, and it can often do it in an incredibly gentle way.
Okay, so when it comes to happiness, then how would that work?
Well, maybe I think one of the best ways to explain that is to begin to show you, because I think people kind of understand things more if they get a real experience of that. And I know I spoke with you earlier on. You very kindly agreed to be my, I don't know what to call it, my volunteer, isn't it, you know? And I am going to be gentle with you.
Oh, good. Well, it's my pleasure anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you one thing. I'll just build something up very slightly, the components of Inner RePatterning. First off, Inner RePatterning helps turn the fight or flight or freeze response off. And that enables you to become more relaxed very quickly. So I'll show you how we can do that in a very natural way and how people listening to this can do that. Yeah. The eyes are directly connected to the nervous system, so that if you're feeling quite stressed, often you're in a very tight vision, focal vision. When you go into peripheral vision, when you become aware of the bigger picture around you and you have an awareness of what's at the side of you, even though you may be looking forward with your eyes, when the eyes go into that form of vision, you automatically relax and the fight or flight or freeze response switches off. Okay. So we can use the eye. That is only part of Inner RePatterning, but it's an old knowledge. So I'll just take you through that so you can have an experience of that first off. You know? So the way I want you to do that is I want you to look as far as you can in front of you. So look forward with your eyes. Choose something to focus on. And as you focus on that, what I want you to do is slightly elevate your eyes so they're slightly up above the horizontal. And as you focus on that spot, I want you now to bring your awareness to the sides of your vision. So you can, I'm using my hand to demonstrate that, bring your awareness to the sides of your vision, so that you kind of get a very soft focus, but you have an awareness of what's at the side of you, even though you're looking forward with your eyes. And just breathe as you do that. There should be no strain on the eyes. It should be a very soft vision. And breathe. And as you do that, just notice what you're experiencing now, what's happening for you.
Well, for me personally, it's almost like my head's relaxed, something's left my head. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels.
Yeah, a greater stillness, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what it does. Is you know what happens is if we get stressed, it's almost like we're tuning into multiple channels. We've got a lot of activity going on up here. When we go into the peripheral vision, it's almost like we turn the channels off. And we stop multi-processing and become still and quiet inside. We become more present in that moment as well. And we can feel quite alert, but we're more present with a lot less type of chatter going on inside of our mind. So that's very, very simple to do. And as we do that, it actually begins to feel a little bit better, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I felt like something was leaving my head, definitely around my eyes.
Now I'm going to show you what we call the safe place in Inner RePatterning. It's kind of a place we access before we begin to release the baggage, the emotional baggage that we carry in but it's a very simple exercise, a very simple thing to do that people can use for themselves, you know. So what I'm going to get you to do now is I want you to get your finger pads, the little soft parts on your fingers, and I want you to go roughly, find the center of the collarbones and go about 3 or 4 inches down from there. And what I want you to do is I want you to tap very, very gently on that area with your finger pads and breathe as you do that.
Okay.
And just put your awareness on your breath and breathe. And as you do that, I want you to again look forward with your eyes and pick a spot to focus on. And as you pick your spot to focus on, look slightly above your spot. Focus on that and breathe. And as you do that, just bring your awareness to the periphery of your vision. Become aware of what's at the side of you whilst you look forward with your eyes. And just soften up the vision. There should be no strain, no stress in the eyes, and breathe. And as you do that, what are you now experiencing?
Greater sense of relief and relaxation, actually. Yeah.
Does that feel good to you?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Well, put your hand over your heart for a moment and just keep that soft vision, yeah? And as you do that, keep the vision in the periphery nice and soft and breathe. Allow yourself to experience this, whatever you're now experiencing. And if there was a color that could truly enhance that in the most beautiful way, what would that be for you?
Green.
So I want you, no effort, no nothing, just so you have the intention of breathing that through your heart. Just via your intention and your breath, and breathe. Keeping the vision in the periphery, just nice and soft, and breathe. Breathing that to the deepest level of your being without any effort. Just your breath and intention. Breathe. And as you're doing that, what are you now experiencing?
Such a sense of relief, actually. Relaxation.
Does that feel good to you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Honestly, it's like I felt, yeah, it's like I felt, honestly, something's left my head.
Yeah, and if there was a color that could make you feel even better in a most profound and beautiful way, what would that be?
Blue.
And I want you to have the intention to breathe that through your heart. No effort, no nothing, just your intention to do that. And breathe. Keeping your awareness, allowing your awareness to be nice and soft in the side of your vision. And breathe. And as you're doing that, what are you now experiencing?
Just calmness.
And if there was a color that could truly help you be even more happy, to experience a beautiful sense of happiness, what color would that be?
White.
And I want you to have the intention to breathe that through your heart. Without any effort, just your breath and your intention, and breathe. Allowing yourself to stay in the periphery of your vision and breathe. And as you do that, what are you now experiencing?
Just a sense of stillness, actually, and just like my jaws have completely opened up. Yeah.
Does that feel good to you?
Definitely.
Why don't we see if we can ramp it up a bit? Yeah, if there's a color that can make you feel even more fantastic, what would that be?
Pink.
And I want you to have the intention to breathe that through your heart without any effort, just your breath and your intention. And just keep your vision in the periphery and breathe. And what are you now experiencing?
Just sense of peace, actually.
Would you say you're happy in that place?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a real sense of happiness for you now.
Absolutely.
So put your other hand over the top and just allow yourself to experience this. Accepting this experience. Allowing yourself this experience. And when you're ready, just put your hands down. And how are you now?
Definitely, my mind feels a lot clearer. Yeah, especially, that I had a lot of tension around my jaw and my eyes, and I can just feel like it just left me, especially my upper jaw.
Yeah. And the thing is, you didn't need to specify that. You didn't say to me, well, I've got this tension here, I've got this tension here, I need to release that. What we're really just doing is putting you into a type of a place, a state, where your mind can begin to heal itself, very naturally.
Yes. Yes, actually, you're right. It's almost, almost the mind knew exactly where to go to actually heal. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah, you think about this. If we cut ourselves,
yes.
We have a cut. We don't really have to tell the mind and body how to heal that cut. As I said to my trainees the other day, we don't have to say put a little bit of fibrin over that cut, etc., etc.
Sure.
The body and mind knows exactly what to do to heal itself. And my thought on that would be, why should emotional things be any different? The mind and body would have its own way of healing things. And therefore, all we really have to do is get ourselves out of the way to allow our mind and body to do what it knows how to do.
Sure, absolutely. And I can still feel it going in my upper jaw, actually.
Yeah, does that feel good?
Yeah, no, seriously, I can still feel it loosening up in my upper jaw. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic.
But you see, it continues to do that. Now, what we can do, I showed you how to go into the safe place in Inner RePatterning.
Yes.
And I showed you how to do what we call the color flush in Inner RePatterning. Now, we can actually help to release a lot of emotional things. But, I think I'll show you, just check in on the time that we have now so I can do a...
Yeah, we're still good.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to show you a little bit more of the process, but in a very nice and gentle way, because Inner RePatterning works via intention and just helping us get ourselves out of the way. It's a releasing process.
Sure.
So we're going to put our intention here. And intention, when you set an intention for something, it's like saying, this is what I want. Yeah? And we're just setting a very firm instruction of what we want to achieve here. And I would say what you now want, if I'm right about that, if you were in a place of inner peace and happiness right now, joy and happiness, would that be perfect for you?
Perfect. I'd like to hang on to it.
Yeah. And we're just going to tell our mind or whatever heals us, I don't know, that whatever that might be, that we want to release anything that's blocking us be in that place. Yeah, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You're probably quite near there because you've done a little bit of that. You're probably feeling quite good right now anyway. So, but we'll go through the process and show you, yeah?
Okay.
I want you to again tap on the thymus point and breathe. And as you tap on that point, again, look into the distance. Choose something to focus on. Elevate your eyes. And just bring your awareness to the sides of your vision and breathe. And what I want you now to do is become aware of anything that's blocking you from being in a place of inner peace and joy and happiness right now. No need to go into it. Just be aware of anything, whether it's a tension or whether it's something else, yeah? And observe it. Now, whatever that might be, it might be you have a memory of something. It might be you have an internal dialogue, a voice. It might be a feeling, sensation, whatever that is. No need to go into it, just observe it. And as you do that, Also be aware of whatever you need to notice now to let you know you no longer have that. And as you do that, I want you to set the intention with me. I now intend to release anything that is blocking me from being in a place of inner peace, joy and happiness now. Just pause, breathe, and allow those words to enter you. And I intend to do that in a very safe and healthy way. Pause, breathe, and allow those words to enter. And what I want you now to do is become aware of whatever might be blocking you being in a place of extreme happiness right now. Whether that's a memory, a thought, a feeling, sensation, whatever. No need to go into it. Just observe it, whatever that is. And when you're ready, breathe in. Breathe out. And have a sense of putting that outside of you. Make sure you come back into peripheral vision and breathe. Being aware of what's at the side of you and breathe. And whatever you've put out there, allow it to be there. Accept that it is there without any judgment of that. Without any criticism, just allowing that to be. And breathe. And as you do that, bring your awareness now to whatever you're experiencing within yourself. What's happening within you now? What are you experiencing now? So what are you experiencing now?
Actually, it's quite funny. I just feel like laughing.
Does that feel good to you?
That does feel good, yes.
Put your hand over your heart and be with this laughing experience that feels really good to you, yeah? And just allow yourself to experience this and breathe. Breathe that laughter right through you with your intention, yeah? To the deepest level of your being. And breathe. And if there was a color that could truly enhance that for you, what would that be?
Yellow.
And I want you to breathe that through your heart. No effort, no nothing, just your intention and breathe. Staying in the periphery of your vision and breathe. And as you do that, what are you now experiencing?
I still feel like laughing out loud, actually.
Why not? I'm guessing that's happiness.
Yeah, well, that is happiness, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Laughing for no good reason. Yeah.
I think, though, isn't that happiness?
Absolutely.
Where you need reason. Yeah, you can just laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow, yeah. That really works.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't know what was blocking any happiness of yours, but you didn't even need to discuss that, you know?
Well, do you know, that was the really interesting thing about it, because I started to look for it, and then you said, no, it doesn't matter, just look at it, and I just looked at it, and I didn't need to know what it was.
Yeah.
It must have left me, because I just feel like laughing.
You see, it's just a very simple releasing process.
Yeah.
You know, once we get ourselves out the way and stop resisting it,
yes,
we release very easily. So when we put a person to what we call the safe place right here, we're basically getting you out the way so that you can just release, yeah, in a gentle way.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That definitely works. To me, just laughing is a very good sign for me personally. I know. So that actually worked. But hey, listen, you're not going to believe this. We've run out of time.
I would believe it, because when you do this technique, time disappears.
It is. So
Yeah.
listen, I'm sure everyone's dying to know where can they actually find you online, and in terms of your website, Twitter, Facebook, and of course I know you've got something very special we can all have.
Yes. Well, they can find me online. I have several websites, but I'll give one of my website addresses here, which would be www.innerrepatterning.com, which is INNERREPATTER NING, innerrepatterning.com. You can find a lot of information about this technique there. And there is also, if people want to sign in to receive the newsletter, there is actually a free book there as well. But that's one of the places they can find me. But I also have a special gift also for them as well, which I know you're going to display the web address of that for people.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So everyone can just jump right on. It's pretty special.
Yeah. You said Twitter as well. People can follow me on Twitter via my name, which is Tania A Prince, and also on Facebook if they want to go there.
Sure.
I have a Facebook fan page. I say fan page, it's almost like it's all, but I have a Facebook page, Tania A Prince, so they're welcome to join me there, and it'd be an absolute pleasure if they come.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Tania. That actually, this EFT stuff actually really does work. So, wow.
Well, this is developed from EFT, so
yes.
it's a slight variation on a theme, I think.
Sure. No, it's yes, it's your very own inner repatterning. I do understand that. And hey, guys, there you go. You've got the recipe to happiness, and just go for it, because it really feels good. And who knows, from this place of happiness, what your absolute true potential is going to be as a result. Now, this is Neera Menon of Only Happiness Counts. Look out for the next interview tomorrow, but make it your absolute top priority, not only to listen to that one, but to re-listen to this interview and absolutely master what Tania's so kindly shown us. So Tania, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. It's absolutely been a pleasure working with you. Thank you.